New Orleans is one of the most historically significant cities in the United States, but beneath the surface lies an archaeological treasure trove. Recent finds tell us a lot about who we are, but some wonder if enough is being done to preserve and protect ancient treasures. Rob Masson shows us the city beneath the city.
New Orleans is a city where culture oozes from the streets, and you can almost feel the past just below your feet. Oftentimes, the deeper you go, the more you find.
This is a pewter syringe used to hold mercury for treating venereal diseases.
Something you might expect to discover from the historic red light district of Storyville, where dozens of homes offered legalized prostitution. Storyville disappeared more than 100 years ago after prostitution was declared illegal, but beneath the surface lies clues to its storied past.
Bisque porcelain hand is a jewelry holder, like a ring holder.
The real treasure troves in holes or privies discovered behind many of these historic homes where they had outhouses.
Pine tar cordial does not sound very pleasant to me.
When plumbing came in, the privies often became dump sites, and many macabre.
So all of them were split right at the back of the skull.
And many unusual finds are among thousands of items now at the University of New Orleans, included hundreds of almost perfectly preserved goat jaw bones pulled from a French Quarter outhouse pit on St. Peter Street. Archaeologists wanted to know why so many goat jaw bones. With the help of city records they found in the early 18th century, a tailor lived on the site. The tailor used goat brain chemicals.
And the most likely explanation that we could come up with was they were using the brains for processing and tanning hides.
Experts say just about any time you dig in the French Quarter and surrounding areas, you uncover evidence of civilizations going back up to 300 years.
We even found a few corked bottles that the archaeologists noted gave off a boozy aroma.
Archaeologists for the historic New Orleans collection uncovered many significant items when it recently renovated its property on Royal Street at the old Seigneurie Brulatour house.
In the well, we found a whole lot of mid to late 19th century items that had kind of been most likely tossed into the well after it was no longer in use.
Among them, tins with French labels used to store everything from cosmetics to sardines. Digging through the layers, they also found lines of black stratification in the soil, which they believe are from major French Quarter fires dating back to 1788 and 1794.
They noted that these gave off a smoky aroma.
One of the largest recent digs on Bourbon Street during its massive reconstruction. Researchers uncovered an old streetcar railroad tie now on display in the mayor's office, as well as a 16-inch iron pipe dating back to one of the city's earliest water systems.
It was part of the water system here, installed in about 1880, give or take 5 years.
UNO's Dr. Ryan Gray says one of the city's most significant archaeological sites lies beneath the area near the intersection of Toulouse and Rampart. That's where a construction project uncovered hundreds of bodies, part of the old St. Peter Cemetery, dating back 250 years.
By my estimates, there are probably at least 8,000 and as many as 12,000 people still interred on that block.
A building collapse at 810 Royal Street in 2014 provided archaeologists a rare opportunity to explore soil that had been unearthed for nearly 300 years.
Thanks to the new owners after the building collapsed, the new owners inviting us in and giving us the opportunity, we were able to do 3 years of excavation.
UNO archaeologists found pottery and other artifacts from Native American, southern France, and England dating back to the 18th century.
It's a copper crucifix, probably from the 1720s.
While the artifacts found beneath the streets and buildings of New Orleans are fascinating, few visitors get to appreciate them. But all that could be changing soon.
We've been launching a New Orleans historical called The City Beneath the City.
The reason for some of these discoveries? Federal law requires archaeologists be on hand for any federal project to protect archaeological treasures. But many fear those treasures may be lost because similar requirements are not in place for other projects.
In New Orleans, on private property, there are really no laws that control what happens to what's beneath the ground.
The other way to find historical artifacts, a private landowner must invite archaeologists to come in and perform a dig.
I think leaving it up to individual property owners doesn't ensure that we're going to take advantage of all those opportunities that we can.
Archaeologists would like to see that change.
The fingers came out, and it was kind of a testament to how good of a job they did excavating that they didn't break them off.
To discover and protect the treasures beneath the historic homes and streets of New Orleans. Rob Masson, Fox 8 Local First.
Dr. Ryan Gray from UNO says many times homeowners who recognize the potential significance of the soil beneath their properties will call them to give them permission for an excavation. That can often delay a project, but in many cases, Dr. Gray says excavation often reveals priceless discoveries that tell us much about who we are.